day, Timka the polar bear stood on the top of an icy hill, gazing into the distance. He loved watching the endless snowy plains sparkling under the northern sun. But recently, his heart had been uneasy. The ice, once eternal, was beginning to disappear. Timka scanned his surroundings. Deep cracks spread across the ice fields, and some icebergs had simply vanished. Nearby, his friend Max the walrus was swimming slowly, looking tired and sad.
Max, what's happening? Why is the ice melting?
It's because of humans, Timka. They're doing so many bad things to nature. Factories spew smoke, cars pollute the air. This is making our Arctic warmer and the ice can't hold on. We're all in danger.
Timka thought hard. His home was disappearing, and so were the homes of his friends. It wasn't fair.
But isn't there something we can do?
Someone needs to make the humans understand it's their fault, but who would listen to us? We're just animals.
If the adults won't listen to us, maybe the children will. They can change the world.
That's a hard path, Timka, but if anyone can reach the humans, it's the children. They still know how to listen to nature.
Then I'll find the children and tell them what's happening here. Together, we'll find a solution.
Buoyed by this idea, Timka climbed down the hill and set off. The icy wind swept over Timka as he pressed forward. In the distance, he saw a strange sight, bright tents and vehicles with large antennas. It was a research camp. Timka stopped at a safe distance, watching. Around the camp, children were playing in the snow. Carefully, Timka approached closer, trying not to scare them. Suddenly, one boy noticed the white figure and shouted. The children froze, but Timka raised his paw in a gesture of friendship. "Don't be afraid," he said softly. "My name is Timka, and I've come to ask for your help." The children exchanged amazed glances.
The Arctic is in danger. The ice is melting and animals are losing their homes. I've heard that you children know how to listen to nature. Will you help me?
If it's true, we have to do something, but what exactly?
First, tell me why the ice is melting. I know it has to do with humans, but I don't understand why they don't see what's happening.
It's because of global warming. People burn too much fuel, and it heats the air. The ice can't freeze fast enough.
The children eagerly started brainstorming ways to help. They suggested starting with cleaning up the trash left by tourists and preparing photos of melting ice to show adults. Timka felt their sincerity and determination. Together, they decided to visit places where the ice was melting the fastest to see the scale of the problem firsthand. Timka led the children across endless snowy plains. They marveled at the majestic beauty of the Arctic, sparkling icebergs and vast white fields. But soon their joy turned to alarm. On the horizon, they saw patches of dark, ugly debris that grew larger as they got closer. It was a massive pile of trash. Plastic bottles, torn bags, fishing nets, everything lay scattered across the ice. Timka stopped, horrified.
This trash is killing animals. My walrus friends often get tangled in nets. Birds might eat plastic, thinking it's food.
The children looked at each other, their faces filled with determination.
We have to do something. We can't leave it like this. Let's start by cleaning it up. We have gloves and bags. We can at least clear some of it.
The children got to work. They collected trash, sorted it, and piled it into bags.
You know, I never thought humans could harm nature this much.
But now you know, and you can tell others. The more people know, the faster we can fix it.
We can't do everything alone, but if we tell other kids, they might join us.
You've done amazing work today. Each of you has taken a big step. We've already started changing the world.
The next day, Timka led the children to a large bay where there used to be many animals, walruses, seals, and birds. But now the area seemed deserted. The silence was overwhelming, filling the icy expanse.
Where is everyone?
They're gone. There's no more food here, and the ice is too thin for them to rest on.
The children felt a weight on their hearts. Max the walrus, who was waiting for them on the shore, explained that many marine animals had left in search of a new home, but not all of them survived.
Let's find a way to bring the animals back. First, we can clean up this bay. If the fish return, so will the other animals.
The children agreed. They split into groups. Some began clearing trash from the shore, while others cleaned the water. Timka and Max helped by pointing out the worst areas. The work was tough, but the children didn't give up. By the end of the day, the children saw the first signs of improvement. The water in the bay looked cleaner, and a few birds had already returned to search the sand for food. Max looked at Timka and the children with approval. Timka looked at his friends. He could see the spark of hope and determination in their eyes. The next day, Timka and the children went to the scientists' camp, which was not far from the shore. Timka had seen it from afar before, but now he decided it was time to speak to the scientists directly. If anyone could help them reach the adults, it was these people. When they got closer, the scientists stared in surprise at the group of children being led by a polar bear.
Is this some kind of joke, a talking bear?
The scientists exchanged astonished glances, but soon agreed to listen. In a large, warm tent, Timka told them about the melting ice, disappearing animals, and polluted shores. His story was emotional, heartfelt, and full of concern for the future. The scientists approved of the idea. They offered to help the children prepare materials, print posters, gather data, and make presentations. By evening, the children and scientists had finished their preparations. The festival would be held in the nearest city, where their story could reach a wide audience. The next day, Timka, the children, and the scientists traveled to the nearest city. The journey was filled with discussions about how to best convey the message to adults. The city greeted them with bustling streets, tall buildings, and people rushing about, oblivious to the world around them. On the stage stood microphones, and next to it, a large screen displayed photos and short videos of Timka and the children's journey.
We're here to tell you what's happening in the Arctic. It's not just a beautiful ice and polar bears. It's home to millions of animals who are losing their lives because we humans don't think about nature.
One man asked what can be done to such big problems, and the girl replied that everyone can do something small. Sort your trash, use less plastic, save energy. If we act together, we can change the world. A woman from the crowd climbed onto the stage. She thanked the kid for telling them and promised that something will be done. After the festival, Timka and the children returned to the scientists' camp. Timka lay on the snow, looking up at the stars, thinking about how the day might have changed the future of the Arctic. The next morning, the children were awakened by noise. Trucks were pulling up to the camp, and people with tools, containers, and nets were stepping out. These were volunteers, inspired by the children and Timka's stories. The children and Timka gladly welcomed their assistance. Together, they headed to areas where the ice had been littered and the waters polluted. Trucks hauled away the trash, while people set up barriers to prevent more waste from entering the ocean. At evening, the children, Timka, and the scientists gathered around a campfire to reflect on the day's progress. Months passed since Timka and the children began their mission. The Arctic had started to change. Timka stood on a high, icy hill, watching everything below. One of the scientists, the tall, bearded man, approached them. He appreciated them that they have changed not just the Arctic, but also the humans. Later that evening, the entire team gathered around a fire to celebrate their progress. Timka told them a few words, told them that they have changed not just the Arctic, but also the humans. When we learn to listen to nature and to each other, we grow stronger. May children always remind us of the importance of protecting our shared home.